on the wall. How have you managed to stay the fairest of us all? This is a story of admiration for Mira. How her back has been pushed against the wall, but still she stands tall. Mira, how have you managed to remain the fairest of us all? How have you managed to shine underneath the shade that is constantly being thrown at you? Reflecting the strengths of all those who only see weakness in you, Mira, Mira on the wall. How have you managed to stay the fairest of us all? Is it in the songs that you sing? Is it in the prayers that you lend? Does it come from lending a helping hand? Or is it from the books that you read? Is it from the unapologetic life that you lead? Mira, Mira, so many things have tried to crush you, but still you refuse to fall. Life has fallen for you. It has had a crush on you for the longest of times, how your melanin glows beneath the heat that life throws. You are thriving. You were rising. Mira, if only one day you would have the chance to sit me down and teach me your ways. But before then, I noticed the charm bracelet that hangs from your arm. I know that life gave it to you after the committed relationship that you two have shared. I know that each charm is a lesson, a charm for purpose, a charm for finding Christ, a charm for self-acceptance, a charm for learning how to mind your own business. And my personal favorite is the charm that glows every time you hold it up to someone else's light. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I do not know I will go first, but thank you for that pleasant surprise. Thank you so much for having me. It's exciting. I did not expect there to be this many people, but this is such a beautiful thing, and thank you, Courtesy, for pushing for it so much. My next piece is one that I wrote after, because we've had such a rise in gender-based violence, and there are so many conversations that are being had about it, but it's different when it comes home. And it's happening and you don't know what your role is. You are hearing so many people have opinions about it, but then when it's next to you, you're like, what do I do? And so I wrote this not as an answer, but I put myself in someone else's shoes in this situation. Why does she even keep going back to him? Is it even possible to return to a place you never turned away from? To go back to a place you never left? Her body may have relocated, but a big part of her was left behind. Being and body can only be apart for so long, so it won't belong until her body returns to a place it feels it belongs to somebody else. Her body replaces the elephant in the living room. Family members surround her, trying to speak livelihood back to her zombie-like state. They go around the circle, offering chants of love, songs of well wishes, gifts of a pile of get out of relationship free cards. They try to reach out to her soul that sits quietly in his clenched fists. They do not know this. They do not notice how the mere mention of his name puts her in a trance. But I also said some things. She says this instinctively, because loving him, defending him, has become a part of her reflexes. She sits there. A text reads, "Let us put the past behind us." It quickly summons body back to being with him, being a state of existence. But things have not always been this way. The beatings are not a sum of their romance. There are days when their fire burns so bright that the smoke starts to blur out the blood stains from the carpet. and the walls and the ceiling. So maybe this is not the best environment to be in. It's on days like this that the smoke effect has her thinking about how love isn't really blind, but how relationship charades can be blinding. So she really considers leaving, really leaving. Body and being, being and body. But there are parts of her that keep pulling her back, like her DNA strands that are now tattooed to the back of his palm, like the gallons of her blood that have bathed his feet. What is more Christ-like than that? Is she not his salvation? The one that changes him, the one that reforms him to a new being. Is she not the one who completes him every time she bleeds into his broken soul? Is that not a pact in itself? A pact for life? Dare I say, till death do them part. Thank you so much.